All right, well, this has been here a week now, this brand new Huayee 480C. And like I said, it's a nice machine, but unfortunately, I'm having to be mechanic on it already. It had a leak going when we unloaded off the truck, and it took a while. I've had other things going on. It took a while to clean the whole area up inside here because there was all on top of the pump, underneath the pump, down all under there, all in the frame and out to back, and so it looked like there were leaks all over. So I cleaned the hell out of this thing, and while I was in there I started checking hydraulic lines. I checked everything I could find in here. All those look tight. There's no leaks at the control valves, and all of a sudden I'm looking at these big fittings. These are the suction side from the pump tank to the pump, and I see, this I've seen for years. They'll have paint marks, like maybe a guy will follow the guy installing it and ensures that they're all tight. There's no paint mark on that one, and that one, it was just hand loose. It was just spinning all around. So I tightened that with a wrench, but it wasn't leaking yet, but it would have. And so I'm like, what in the hell? And so I finally traced it up on the cooler, and it had a leak at this fitting at the cooler. And I'm in the middle of, right now, I ordered a metric O-ring kit I have, and I took the fitting out. I got lucky because I let it sit up here about 20 minutes and I didn't lose much oil, only this little bit in the pan. And I think it's this soy oil, like people say. So I'm going to see if it's a little low. I've got the good ISO, I guess it's 40 hydraulic oil for my excavator, so I'll add, and then I'll just drain it later. I haven't even got a chance to run this enough to see if there's anything else going on. There's no sign of any other leaks, so I'm not going to change hydraulic oil. I get a week or 2 or 3 of this running. But a brand new machine, really nice. But I started thinking, I haven't been around equipment in years. I was a mechanic for 30 years on equipment. And I started thinking it's probably got an O-ring in there. And sure enough, there's an O-ring on the hose right there in the fitting. That one's fine. That just seals it in. This is a low pressure side because it comes off the suction return from the tank, I guess. And I don't know the machine real well, but it's definitely a low pressure side. It just goes through and it cools your hydraulic oil. It's not like high pressure. So I only had a little drip at that, this is one that's not leaking, but it was dripping, and I was like, is it leaking from here or up here? And I watched for a while and I saw it coming right out there. And sure enough, when I pulled the fitting out, it's got 2 washers, and then it's got a groove, and I could see already before I took it out, there's your O-ring, and it's been cut. So the O-ring went in. These are tricky. I've done these before. The O-ring has to be in the groove there and has to fit into the opening in the cooler just snug, and that just seals it. And then you spin the fitting tight. The washers are just there to space it. The washers don't push against the O-ring. The O-ring just sits in that groove. That's what I was thinking, man, they might have hinched it, but it happens. These are tricky to put together, and so I'm glad I found what was wrong. Now I've got to find an O-ring that'll fit it right, and maybe a teeny bit thicker than that one, but you can fit it up. Put a little grease on the O-ring and you can push it in there, thread it a little ways in until it gets in there, and spin it a little and take it out, check that it's all right, and then you just pull it in until it's snug in there, and then you tighten the jam nut, and you turn your fitting to the side of the hose, and you're done. But it's a simple thing, but it's a pain in the butt. It's out here on the driveway. I'm sitting there, we're waiting for another rainstorm, so I've got my mini excavator tarped all up. I don't want it getting soaked out here. I had some work to do on it. I've got a shop building. Both these are going new, and then I'm going to take them up one at a time to use on the property. But this thing, brand new, nice machine, and it didn't make it from the corner down where my truck is, off the delivery truck, to the driveway, and it's been there a week. It took me a few days to go through this and clean it, figure out what the hell, and now I know what's wrong. So with any luck, I'll get it fixed and she'll be running. It looks dry everywhere else, and it is a nice machine. I'm not bad talking, but things happen at factories. I'm just surprised that no one saw this dripping before it got here. So we'll see what we can do and get this fixed. It'd be nice to have it running and not leaking and be able to test it, because I don't know if there's some other leaks going to develop. I need to run the hell out of this thing once it's running and that leak's going, get it hot,